Welcome to Site Reliability Engineering Crashcasts. I'm your host, Sheila, and today we're diving into an essential topic for every SRE out there: strategies and resources for continuous learning in our fast-paced field. Joining me as always is our SRE expert, Victor. Hey Victor, ready to share some knowledge?
Hi Sheila. Absolutely. I'm excited to discuss this crucial aspect of our profession. Before we start, I think it's worth mentioning that to get the most out of this episode, listeners should have a basic understanding of what site reliability engineering is and why it's important in modern tech organizations.
Great point, Victor. For today's episode, we'll be covering various learning strategies, online resources, and the importance of staying updated in the SRE world. But before we dive in, let's start with a quiz question for our listeners. Here goes. According to a popular theory, what's the estimated half-life of technical knowledge in our industry?
Ooh, that's an intriguing question, Sheila. It really highlights the rapid pace of change in our field. I think it's a great way to get our listeners thinking about why continuous learning is so crucial for SREs. Without giving away the answer, I'd say this concept of knowledge half-life is a powerful motivator for staying on top of our game.
Absolutely, Victor. Now, let's start with the basics. Can you explain why continuous learning is particularly important in the field of site reliability engineering?
Certainly, Sheila. SRE is a field that sits at the intersection of software engineering and operations. It's constantly evolving as new technologies, methodologies, and best practices emerge. If we don't keep learning, we risk falling behind and becoming less effective in our roles. Think of it like software updates. Just as we keep our systems updated to ensure optimal performance and security, we need to keep our knowledge base updated too.
That's a great analogy, Victor. So, what are some effective strategies for continuous learning in SRE?
There are several strategies, Sheila. One of the most accessible is leveraging online learning platforms. Websites like Coursera, EDX, and Udacity offer courses on various SRE-related topics. Another great strategy is regularly reading technical blogs and publications. Can you think of any other strategies, Sheila?
Absolutely. Attending conferences and meetups can be incredibly valuable. They not only provide learning opportunities but also chances to network with other professionals in the field. What about open source contributions, Victor? How do they fit into continuous learning?
Great question. Contributing to open source projects is an excellent way to learn. It exposes you to different code bases, architectures, and collaboration styles. Plus, it often involves tackling real-world problems, which can be incredibly educational. Personal projects are another great learning tool. They allow you to experiment with new technologies in a low-stakes environment.
Those are all fantastic strategies, Victor. Now, let's dig a little deeper. What are some of the challenges SREs might face in staying updated, and how can they overcome them?
One of the biggest challenges is simply finding the time, Sheila. SREs often have demanding schedules, and it can be hard to carve out time for learning. To overcome this, it's crucial to make learning a habit, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. Another challenge is the sheer volume of information out there. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's where curation comes in. Following respected thought leaders in the field can help you focus on what's truly important.
Those are great points, Victor. I've heard some SREs talk about the concept of learning in public. Can you explain what that means and how it might be beneficial?
Certainly. Learning in public refers to the practice of sharing your learning journey openly, often through blogs, social media, or talks. It has several benefits. It helps solidify your understanding as you explain concepts to others. It builds your personal brand. And it invites feedback and discussion, which can further enhance your learning. However, it does require a certain level of vulnerability and openness to criticism.
That's fascinating, Victor. Now, let's talk about some cutting-edge learning techniques. I've heard about the Feynman Technique being used in technical fields. Can you explain what it is and how SREs might use it?
The Feynman Technique, named after the famous physicist Richard Feynman, is a powerful learning method. It involves explaining a concept in simple terms, as if you were teaching it to someone else. This helps identify gaps in your understanding and forces you to break down complex ideas. For SREs, this could be particularly useful when learning about new technologies or complex systems. You could try explaining a new concept to a non-technical friend, or even write a blog post about it.
That's a great technique, Victor. Now, let's share a quick anecdote to illustrate the power of continuous learning in SRE. I once knew an SRE who made it a habit to learn one new tool or technology every month. Within a year, she had significantly expanded her skill set and was able to solve a critical production issue using a tool she had learned just a few months prior. It really drove home the value of consistent learning.
That's an inspiring story, Sheila. It shows how continuous learning can have real tangible benefits in our day-to-day work. Speaking of which, I think it's time we reveal the answer to our quiz question. Would you like to do the honors?
Of course. The estimated half-life of technical knowledge in our industry is often cited as being about 2 years. This means that half of what you know today will be obsolete in just 2 years' time. It's a stark reminder of why continuous learning is so crucial in our field.
Wow, that really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Before we wrap up, Sheila, could you summarize the key points we've discussed today?
Certainly, Victor. Today we've learned that 1. Continuous learning is crucial in SRE due to the rapidly evolving nature of the field. 2. Effective learning strategies include online courses, reading technical blogs, attending conferences, contributing to open-source projects, and personal projects. 3. Challenges in staying updated include time constraints and information overload, which can be overcome by making learning a habit and curating information sources. 4. Advanced techniques like learning in public and the Feynman Technique can enhance the learning process. 5. The half-life of technical knowledge is estimated to be about 2 years, underlining the importance of ongoing learning. To help our listeners remember these strategies, they can use the acronym COCOP: courses, open-source conferences, online resources, and personal projects.
That's an excellent summary and a clever acronym, Sheila. I hope our listeners found this episode informative and inspiring for their continuous learning journey in SRE.
Thank you, Victor, for sharing your expertise. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to Site Reliability Engineering Crashcasts and leave us a rating. Your support helps us continue providing valuable content. Until next time, keep learning and stay reliable.